Elwood, we show your license currently under suspension.
I guarantee you a slap on the wrist. A brief suspension.
So what are we going to get? Dismissal, suspension?
For suspension.
When do you want the suspension to begin?
It's not a suspension. Elimination period of suspension may be reckoned.
Trials, questions, suspensions, no investigation.
I put my neck on the line to keep you out of suspension.
Power outages, earthquakes, nothing will affect your suspension.
Suspension of a donkey cart and smelt like a teller.
The coach just negotiated you out of a suspension.
Elwood, we show your license currently under suspension. Step out of the car, please.
Thanks, I'm not a snitch.
I guarantee you a slap on the wrist. A brief suspension followed by a temporary transfer from
So what are we going to get? Dismissal, suspension, censure, departmental prosecution?
Every member of the school board. She's pushing for suspension.
And that's it? The board's just gonna roll over for...
Think of what?
When do you want the suspension to begin?
It's not a suspension. Elimination. For suspended from duty. Any such period of suspension may be reckoned in calculating your entitlement to pension.
The gun squad. No lawyers, no trials, questions, suspensions, no investigations, just piles of bodies.
Honestly, I put my neck on the line to keep you out of suspension after your little stunt in gym class.
6 degrees below zero. Power outages, earthquakes, nothing will affect your suspension hibernation.
You signed a contract with these people, David?
Suspension of a donkey cart and smelt like a tellery. Vanished as quickly.
Yes, act a little happier. The coach just negotiated you out of a suspension.
Brian, we're gonna need long travel suspension, limited slip differentials on all of them.
Now, my idea for this little trick you pulled was 3 days suspension and refusal of your promise.
McLean there?
He's on suspension.
No, Walter, he's not. Not today.
Who is this?
Call me.
Everybody can relax. I found the car. Need some suspension work and shocks and brakes, brake pads. Dave, it's a 4-month suspension. It's not even going to affect your scholarship.
Forget it! I'm out of here.
The ship in the desert. They got independent suspension, power steering, and no emission control. Right them away now.
Call my name, Kirk. James D.
Kirk, you're on academic suspension. That means you're grounded until the Academy Board rules.
Daylight, but now it's suddenly night.
What do you know? Haven't you heard of suspension of disbelief?
Reverend,
has been parked illegally. The suspension is sagging. There's definitely something heavy in the trunk.
Right.
Trying to make peace? He was just manipulating the public?
Guy's out for a suspension and bombing from
65 to 68.
What about...
Actors out in Cincinnati. Well, that's great. Damn right. This gets us out from under suspension. We can go for those new routes to Pittsburgh and Boston now.
I propose a halt to deportations, the release of some existing detainees under Article 31, and the suspension of all arrests that were officially sanctioned.
Out of anybody.
One hell of a dirty cop. I've never seen so many suspensions and reprimands and charges of misconduct.
Yeah, well, he's also as tough as they come.
2 other cars made in America that had positive traction and independent rear suspension and enough power to make these marks.
Disqualifies you from hearing this case, and we therefore move for a temporary suspension until it's investigated.
Mr. Adler, this is a most unusual motion.
Think about it.
There's 3 suspensions in 1 semester. That's got to be some kind of record. In social thinking, a deadening, a suspension of moral value.
What would you say to your critic?
She should have. Next, I'm going to be working on the suspension. It's pretty good, though, huh? Yeah.
Powering structures. It's the first combination of bascule and suspension bridge ever attempted. Most innovative.